Oh boy. Well, for the last 2 weeks, I have been playing a little indie game called Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Ooh.
And it's very delightful. If you like the Lego games, there's not much. I don't know if there's much new here. Like, it's very much a Lego game. You know, like, smash
What?
stuff, get the pegs, unlock characters, like, come back in free play and, like, explore, you know?
Is it so I'll ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
When I play Lego games now, and I wasn't always this way. I feel like within the last like 5 to 8 years it's gotten like this. I will play for about a half hour and then I get really sleepy. I think it's just because it's just like press X and you just do that forever. Like, is there a little more to it?
There's like
puzzles.
There's puzzles, and there's.
Are they annoying?
I wouldn't say they're annoying. I would say they're very simple.
Yeah.
There's puzzles. There's more like exploration. Like, there are parts in the stories where it's like a slower part of the movie, and they kind of just give you a big like map to roam around in. Like, they're like, we're gonna go to Mos Eisley, and you go there, and you can go right into the canteen, the cantina. But like, there's also just, you can explore Mos Eisley, and there's like upgrades to find and collectibles to do and all that stuff, and then you can continue the story whenever you want. So it lets you kind of pace it out yourself. Me, I'm just like plowing. I'm like, I'm going to the next thing. I don't really care. Which, it's kind of nice because each of the episodes so far is maybe a little over an hour. I haven't beaten them all. I beat the prequels, and then I beat episode 4, and then I didn't really play this weekend because I had stuff going on. But
so the game's pretty short then.
Yeah, I think if you want to just, like, if you literally, like I'm playing, where you just run to the next, like, story thing and just play, I think you can beat it in
Probably like 10 to 12 hours.
12-ish hours, yeah. All 9 episodes. If you want to go back and free play, though...
It doesn't have, like, Solo or Rogue One or anything like that?
No. It's just 1 through 9.
Yeah.
It's literally just the Skywalker Saga. Now, there are characters from, like, Mandalorian and other things. And there's all the, like the Lego games always have. They have all the, like, really obscure background characters are, like, playable and stuff.
Yak face and all that
but you gotta you gotta unlock them. But
God, can you play as Yaddle? What
I
is
think
the
so.
difference?
Dude, the character
That's
screen
wild.
is huge. Like, the amount of things you can get.
It makes Smash Brothers look like nothing.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, to be
that's
fair,
the
most
meat
of them are kind of the same, but
Yeah,
No.
they're like
Yeah.
palette swaps, but that's the meat of most of those games is
Yeah.
the free play and getting like all the gold bricks
Yeah.
and
being like, I'm gonna go play
the mini
episode
kits.
4 as Darth Maul or whatever.
yeah,
Which you can do. Like, I think they make you play each of the episodes as the characters as they were intended. But then when you do that, you unlock like that zone in free play. So you'll unlock like Coruscant in episode 2 and 3 for free play, and then you can just go back there and be any character you want and dick around and do stuff and look for like the collectibles. There's a bunch of collectibles. There's mini kits which combine into different ships, because there's a whole like space area now too, where you can like warp speed to other planets and stuff. And there's like actual things you do in space. So like when you're doing the trench run in episode 4, you're actually like, you're piloting an X-wing and like shooting, and there's all this stuff.
that's cool.
Yeah, and like when you in episode 2, when
Is
you're
it like Kingdom Hearts gummy ship sections where it's like kind of light?
the whole game is very light. Like all the they don't even care if you die. Like you die and you see yourself die, and it doesn't even do like a checkpoint. The game's just like picks you back up and is like, here you go. Just
Do you
kind of like,
lose any studs or
you do, but
They
I
used
think
to
you
do
can
that.
pick them up like
you can
again,
pick them right up
but
immediately usually.
I think there are ways to make it harder if that's what you want, but I don't think most people play Lego games for the difficulty. I
Yeah.
think they play
I was
them,
about to say, I feel like that runs against the spirit of these games.
they play them
Yeah.
to platform and be told like funny jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
I will say that the writing in this is actually pretty funny, and they if you play them in order, which I think I recommend, because they will have like jokes carry over between them. Like
okay.
my favorite example was in episode 1. There's the scene when like Padme and like the Gungans are all meeting and they're gonna like form the alliance, right? And Queen Amidala walks up. She goes, "I'm Queen Amidala," and then everyone starts doing this Spartacus thing where they're like, "I'm Queen Amidala." No, I'm Queen Amidala. And there's this one old guy with just a beard, and he's like, "I'm Queen Amidala," and then they shut it off. Later on in episode 2, where when it starts and the ship lands and then blows up, that blows up, and they run over to. It was supposed to be the new princess of Naboo is there, or the new queen. And instead, it's that old guy from the thing, and he goes, "I'm Queen Amidala," and then he dies. It's pretty great.
Nice.
And then the other one that I really loved was during the trench run when Vader comes down in the ship and he goes, "Cover me." That happens, and then they show his ship, and a bunch of TIE fighters go and just like attach to it, and then he goes like brr, and he like shakes them off. Like, no, that's not what I meant. You know what I mean?
Not literally.
Not literally. So it's very silly, but
Yeah.
it's very light, it's very silly, and there's a fuckload of content. If you're someone who likes to 100% these games, you'll be playing this for a long time because there's a shitload of stuff, and the maps are actually pretty big. They're big enough to like give you vehicles sometimes.
Wow.
Like there'll be speeders like around and stuff that you can pilot just for the hell of it. You can fly them around or whatever. And there's like upgrade trees also for each of the each of the characters is broken up into a class. So there'll be like Jedi. There'll be like basic tree that's like, you know, the amount of studs you get and how from how far away, or the amount of health you have. But then there's like a Jedi tree, and that affects all of the Jedi characters you can play, and you can upgrade that. And then there's like a bounty hunter, a Sith one, like a normal just people one, or like it's
People tree.
a people tree. It's kind of nuts, like how much stuff is in the game. I don't know if I'll go 100% it, just because I'm not usually that person. But if you are that person, there's a shitload of game in here, I would say. Like a ton of replayability. And the fact that the episodes are really short, I think is also great. So when you're like, "Oh, I'm going to go replay episode 5," it's not like this whole multi-hour thing. You're like, "Oh god, that's like you're maybe signing up for an hour and 10 minutes." You know.
Oh, wow.
For just if you're just running to the end, you know.
Yeah.
Or running to the next like thing that says continue the story, and you say yeah, and you do stuff, right?
Huh.
So
Are each of the episodes about as long as the movie then?
no, because Star Wars movies are long as hell. I don't know if you've ever
Star Wars
like
movies
thought
are
about
like
it.
2
They're
hours
almost
long.
all 2 to 2.5 hours. I think Last Jedi is technically the longest one, and it's about, I think it's 2 hours and 40 something minutes.
I guess I never really pay attention to how long they are.
Yeah. Well, it's I don't know. They've always been really long. I think
I
think
really
the
pay
shortest
attention to
one
stuff
might
if
be
they-
episode
if they're
4.
like Avengers length. Like if it's like Endgame or Infinity War,
They've-
where I'm like, God damn, this movie never ends.
They never
Well, I
broke.
think we've
Or like
also
the
gotten
Batman.
used to movies being 2 hours and change long. Like,
Yeah.
That's been a wild thing. We were watching some movies lately, and Audrey was like, "It's over already," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's not. It's like an hour and 20 minutes
yeah.
or something."
Venom 2
it's
did
like-
that, where it was an hour and a half
Yeah.
long, and I was like, "What? We're done? Okay." Like,
I prefer
ran
that.
this up very quickly.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I like sometimes there are good movies that are long, but sometimes I'm like, you can overstay your welcome for like what this thing is. Like sometimes I
Oh,
just
yeah.
want to get in and out.
I feel like
you know?
even the Batman did that. Where I'm
the
just like,
Batman. we
man,
talked
we
about that
could've-
in our spoiler cast.
Yeah,
we were like,
we
this could have
did.
been 30 minutes shorter. I think.
I'm very excited to rewatch that now that it's on,
it's on.
HBO.
Same. Actually, yeah.
Hobo
The other
Max.
day,
Yep.
we got our copy of No Way
That's
Home.
my friends and I call it.
We got our copy of No Way Home, so I actually sat down with Audrey and like we watched it, and she saw it for the first time,
Yeah.
and I was like very excited to see it again, and I really enjoyed it, and she was like, "Okay,
It was a movie.
dang, that's it." I'm like, "Man, I had so much fun with that one." She like laughed out loud. She laughed out loud. Spoiler alert for Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We were watching the thing, and and Ned opened the portal, right? And then Spider-Man came through, took off the mask. It was Andrew Garfield. She like, as that scene was like going on and like kind of coming to a close, she like looked over to me and she's like, am I gonna have to look at Tobey Maguire's fucking face? And I was like, that's amazing. And also, maybe, you know.
I don't know. Why don't you wait 80 seconds?
Why don't you watch the movie?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I that was fun.
I've had
That's
people
awesome.
ask me questions like that during a movie, be like, where they guess the twist. They're like, so is he the murderer? I'm like, can you just like watch? Like,
Can you let this happen?
it's fine to
and then we'll
have
talk
these
about it?
theories, but I'm like, do you want me to tell you and like just we stop watching, or like what do you want me to say, right?
The thing that's
Why don't you
annoying
go on
is when,
Yeah.
when
if you're gonna ruin it for
people
yourself.
ask me questions like that, and I'm like, do you want me to tell you? And then they're like, so it's yes. And I'm like, no, I'm asking if you want me to tell you, even though it is yes. But like, you get what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, come on. But
Anyway, all that to say, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is very good. And one of the things that I would say that my favorite thing about it is that if you're someone like me who wants games to just be shorter, this game can be short. If you're someone
Yeah.
who's like, man, I want the game I spent $60 on to be like 60 hours or something, you probably could get a good 30 to 60 hours out of this game if you went and tried to get literally everything, because I guarantee you, like, I understand, like, people right now are listening to me say, like, there is a shitload of stuff to unlock. That is not an exaggeration. Like, when you boot in and see all of the characters and all of the ships and all the mini kits and all the other things and all the bricks and stuff you have to find, they're going to be like, holy fuck, because there's just an immense amount
There's
of
a
stuff.
reason this game took as long as it did to come out.
Yeah, it got delayed for like
Yeah.
a whole almost 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I recommend it. I think if you're, traditionally I'm not super into the Lego games. This is the first one that I've been like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like I actually kind of appreciate it.
I've been honestly really surprised at how many people I've heard say that they're super excited for this, because I've tried a bunch of these games. A bunch of them have been made available as part of like Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah, they
with
give
Game
them
Pass
give
and
them
stuff
away
like
all
that.
the time.
And so I've like dipped into a couple of them, and I played like maybe one level, and I'm like, this is so bare bones. It just can't hold.
It's
my
very
attention.
mindless. I will say this game, to my recollection, there were almost no puzzles in a lot of the old ones. This one actually has very basic puzzles in it that, like, I've never been stuck because they're not like super difficult, right? I mean, this game is is pretty much meant for children and like the parents of children, or people who just want like something really like laid back. Like it's
Parents, children, and the parents of children.
Yeah.
You know, idiots.
it's but also for someone like I would say this game is like the antithesis of Elden Ring, where like Elden Ring asks a lot of you. This game does not ask much of you, like at all. And it's not interested in asking much of you. It's interested in you just having a good time. That's about it.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of refreshing. Like I can sit down and I know that I'm going to play episode 5 and it's going to take me an hour to an hour and a half. And then when I'm done, I feel like I did something, even though it wasn't like I wasn't super challenged or anything, but I still had a good time. I laughed at the jokes. I actually do think that the jokes are pretty funny, like what they do, because they have to rewrite a lot of it, like, and also they took like all the youngling thing out of episode 2. Like they take some of the stuff out, like the beheadings are gone, sort of. They happen kind of off screen.
Now they take that stuff out. However, I don't know if you saw, you can slash up a kid real good with a lightsaber and use it to cross gaps.
Yeah, I have seen that, and it's pretty fun.
And I will say, counterpoint to this game doesn't demand a lot of you, unlike Elden Ring. Elden Ring can be shorter than this game. I don't know if you guys saw, but somebody's beaten
I
it
did see.
9 minutes?
under 7 minutes now.
Oh my god.
That's wild.
Yeah, but doing that is very
you-
demanding
Yeah.
and requires
Fair.
extensive knowledge. Whereas
Fair, but I think that's
You
I
can
think
walk
that's a
into
The
fun-
Lego
a
game, it's like-
and, yeah.
it hit X,
And
hit X to hit things, use B to use the Force.
Yeah.
You can jump around, and then you watch the droids make funny jokes and then they explode or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great one. There was a great joke also in the beginning of Phantom Menace where, or near the end, when like Anakin like is in the ship and it like skids through the thing. So it's like in the middle of that, there's all these droids and one of them's having like a retirement party, like a surprise retirement party. And like all the droids are like, surprise, they bring out a cake and he's like, oh my God, you guys, like, it's so amazing. You remembered on one day for retirement. The ship goes like, wham, just like right into all of them. All the pieces fly out. It's very funny.
Gentlemen, we have been blessed by the presence of IGN's own Mark Medina.
What's up,
In
dude?
our
Hey,
chat.
Mark, what's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Talking about some Lego Star Wars.
Lego
Yeah.
Star Wars Catch the Fever. It's very funny.
It's
very
good that
I was gonna ask if it got your Catch the Fever award.
I would
Yeah.
say
curious to
so.
know.
Normally I expected to fully not like this game because I'm not usually into the Lego games, but playing it, I'm like, yeah, this is actually kind of nice. It's like a nice just chill out, watch the funny jokes, like get some stuff out of it. But I think if you're into the Lego games, this will feel like really, really cool because it has a lot of good stuff in it and there's like a ton of content in it. So definitely
Is this the-
recommend.
Is this the biggest Lego game that they've ever made?
I'm pretty sure
it's
it
got to
is.
be. Yeah,
It's
it
got to
has
be. It's
Yeah.
it's 9 movies of stuff, and also just the amount of collectibles in this game is insane. It's
funny
nuts.
enough, like the next closest one is probably Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, which
I was just about to
used
say,
to
like,
be a
they've
true,
kept,
yeah, or what is it, 360? Also,
they've
one of the
repackaged
only
these Star Wars games like trilogy by trilogy, and then like, okay, there's this section and all this sort of
Yeah,
stuff, and
yeah.
now it's just like,
Funny enough, I don't think I have that one, but I have.
Oh man, that was one of the only ones that had online co-op.
Yeah.
wow.
And like which I get why they don't do it, but it's still like a huge bummer because
Yeah.
I have Lego
I
Star
would
Wars
love
3:
to
The
play those
Clone
with some
Wars,
people.
which I've never played.
Oh no, yeah, you don't need to play that.
Some of the other ones.
But
yeah.
what was I gonna say? Oh no, I'm glad to hear that the puzzles aren't annoying because
No, I didn't find them annoying at all.
we had been playing Lego Lord of the Rings on Xbox One, which is a 360 game, and it actually upscales very well because of the Series X. But there were definitely moments in that where like it goes from being so like single-minded to now you have to go do a thing and you don't realize it, and I just feel like mindlessly like smashing whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I realize, I have to go up, climb this ladder
yeah.
or do whatever.
It tells you where you need to go next, and it also doesn't put you that far away from it.
That's good.
So if you're trying to just like I play, where I'm just trying to get through the episode, like
Yeah.
the minute you get to Mos Eisley, it's like walk literally across the street to the cantina to continue the story. But then they're kind of like, also Mos Eisley's pretty big if you want to like go dick around and like get pegs and like find stuff because there's
Whoa.
that's what they're called. The
Chris, your mental fortitude will be more than enough for the challenge. Remember, as Josh said, this is made for children and the parents of
Do
children.
you think I can do it?
You can do it. Anybody, I
it's
think,
made
can play
for
this
fools?
game.
You fool!
I will say I haven't done any of the co-op at all.
I mean,
I've just
that's
kind of been playing by
mostly,
myself.
at least when Jess and I started dating, that's why, like, how we call each other bub, that's where that comes from, is
Hey,
Lego
bub.
Marvel superheroes when Wolverine just calls everybody bub, but
That's true.
he's like, what are you doing, bub? That game, that's probably a close second as far as, like, giant Lego games. That's the last one that I really, other than Lego Dimensions, that I really got my teeth into. Where it had like a huge character roster. And I feel like the Marvel games and the Star Wars ones, it's very obvious as to like what your character's abilities are and what they're able to do. Whereas like Lord of the Rings was very like, okay, he's a man, and Gimli has an axe, and they can both hit things, but one of them can't hit it the right way, but he has a different type of sword. Like, it was very, like, specific. Whereas Star Wars, it's like, get the guy with the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so I just Googled it. There are 500 characters in this game.
Wow.
500
outrageous.
unlockable characters, which is nuts.
That's
And that's
wild.
just the characters. That's not the ships and the other stuff. But
Yeah. That's
yeah,
really cool.
It's nuts. So catch the fever. Check it out.
That's truly wild.
I definitely think if you're not like someone who's super invested, you can probably wait because I figure the Lego games go on sale a lot.
That's a good
yeah.
Black Friday game.
Oh
For
yeah.
sure. If you're like
It'll
on
be
the
like
fence about
20,
it.
30 bucks on
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
Friday.
That'll be like a game fly.
Then it's like
special.
the amount of content you get will be even more worth it because it's just
Yeah.
it's pretty beefy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or wait 3 years and it'll be on Games with Gold or something like that. you know.
Yeah.
Did they give away Series X games on Games with Gold yet, or is it still just like random 360 games? I feel like every time I look at it, it's always some random 360 game.
They've done some
don't
Xbox
know.
One games, but I haven't seen any like proper Series X ones
They're
yet.
not at that point yet, maybe.
Yeah. I guess
I
they
mean,
figure they
maybe-
have Game Pass. It's like if you want it,
Yeah, I
there.
mean, you get so many over
Yeah.
there now.
yeah.